I mean, I'm looking at you, Teddy, man. You are like the number one asshole, and you take pride in being a bit of a dick. So until that kind of shit stops,
Yes,
then
I'm not gonna.
there's going to be no gentleman's.
I want to weigh
message.
in there, right? That's probably not likely to change. He's been a bit of a dick since I've known him. Like, you know,
Yep.
so
which kind of makes it.
We all know how toxic it can get on the PvP scene. It's all the same. Consoles or PC, it doesn't matter. Well, over the past few weeks, there was a bit of a fuss on the PvP community, at least on the Xbox side. What happened was a few PvP-related people or factions, they signed this agreement. They call it a PIP agreement. Basically, there's a certain set of rules that they all will follow. No combat logging, obviously, like no premium ammo, no bitchin', no toxic stuff like before, or no exploits, you know, the usual stuff. But again, while they signed this agreement, other PvP factions were against it. So I thought maybe I will get some of them into a party and we'll discuss the whole situation. Here's what I got. I mean, for instance, EXO is on the list, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
If I go engineering,
He's on the
engineering,
list.
I usually get pulled. What I usually would do, I just keep low waking until I get to my destination. But now all of a sudden low waking is broken. But I would still do it. So what's up? Whoa. How do you see that?
Well, it's
The
just down to
idea-
the mass lock factor recently, isn't it?
The
If you're
idea
in a
of-
smaller ship, go on. Sorry, I was gonna say.
No, go on, dude. Go on.
But I mean, like, if you know your ship's mass lock factor and you know the kind of distance that your ship needs to be before it can get away from a certain other ship, then fair enough, yeah. Like, for example, if you're in a ship that can, it gets mass locked by a third lance, the third lance has a 3.5 kilometer range on its mass lock factor. Jump up to a cutter, has a 5.2 kilometer range. So if you do know that kind of thing, then yeah, fair play.
Respect it.
You can lower it. But it's the fact that I think it was mainly down to when people were very close to dying, and let's say if they were in a third lance and they were being mass locked by a cutter usually, and they just low weight. It's the way that I look at it is it's a way to get out quick, so therefore you don't have to charge and jump out of the whole system. Sorry.
You can also charge your shields and jump back in very quickly as well.
This is a whole. This is a whole taking the nuance of the whole idea. So, PIP from the discussions when it first came to me, I was like, "No, I'm not getting involved in this. I've heard and seen it all before." It's not. It's not.
that's
about,
exactly what I thought when I saw it on
It's-
Facebook. No,
It's not about the guys who are going engineering or about the traders at a CG doing their thing. That's not what the whole point of it was. The whole point of the pit was a group of guys who are against each other in game, shooting each other frequently. And it's the same teams. We all know who the PvP teams are. I fight Vale with Jester and them. I fight IGA. You know, there's numerous groups who pull up in Wolf Space and we pew it out at CGs and whatever. The idea of PIP is to change from what becomes a clusterfuck of salty comms, trying to run exploits, loading up with fucking premium ammunition and then fill in comms with your trash, get good, BGSing in fucking private groups when it goes sour, crime switching or people complaining that you have crimes on in your home system, which we've always done, and people switching crimes and doing the same because it's getting salty about it. The idea of PIP isn't the whole point is moot, because the idea of PIP is the people who are fighting each other frequently to put it on a path where we can do it with enjoyment. It's not about us going to our explorers who are running around and saying, listen, you need to do this, you need to do this, you're going to get punished if you don't. That's not what it's about at all. It's about setting an etiquette between the people who play competitively against each other frequently and trying to bring us together as a bit of a community, even if we're on complete different ends of the spectrum, drawing a line in the sand with the salt and the bullshit that goes on all sides, from us, from bad guys, from good guys, from all sides. Try and get rid of a bit of the fucking hypocrisy that exists in the game when it comes
I can agree with that.
burning systems and we're going to
Squares for president.
you and going private and all that. That's what it's about.
Make Elite great again.
Amen, brothers.
Megatron's asked for an invite.
Yeah.
Watching the Facebook blow up as it did, and I just rolled my eyes. It was quite amusing to see all the people screaming, "If you've got premium, use it." Well, they were all the people I thought used premium anyway. And then when I'd wake out on them, they start filling my inbox saying you need to get good. Well, you've got 5 guns with 30% extra boost on it. Doesn't bother me, couldn't care less. But don't try and make out that you're a competitive PvPer if you need to use a crutch. People can do what they want. I couldn't care less.
One of the problems. I mean, I think it's a brilliant idea, but I'm on the fence with it all at the moment. The problem I have, well, it's not a problem I have, but there's a lot of characters and egos in the PvP scene, right? Without doubt, right? A lot of characters and egos.
Yes,
there will be
without doubt,
times.
They always clash.
That's
They
another
always
thing.
clash.
As long as we agree.
It's all right.
It's all good.
It's all right. It just adds to the flavour of the game. It really doesn't bother me at all. It makes it all colourful, right? But the problem you've got is there are going to be people that are going to use this low wake to their advantage in the heat of battle, and it's like, what's the sort of punishment or what's going to happen if people use this exploit when they've signed up not to use it? You're going to kick them from the PIP because there's not a lot of people. There's not a lot of factions signed up to the PIP at the moment. Then you've also got the other argument that although premium ammo, everybody knows when someone's using premium ammo. But I tell you, the people that use premium ammo are the gankers who want a quick kill, right? And it's very quick and easy to know when someone's using it. I'll jump out. I wouldn't even fire off a first set of shield cell banks. I'll just jump as a sort of message to them to say I'm not fighting someone. And it's not an exploit either. At the end of the day.
Okay.
How are you going to monitor? How are you going to punish people? I'm just playing devil's advocate here. How are you going to punish people that use it? Because the other side of the coin is when this PIP is only an agreement between the people that sign up to it, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So if you're fighting anybody that's not signed up to the PIP, all those rules go out the window, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, okay. Just wanted to clarify that. That's okay. Go on.
The way we see it, right, is the majority of PIP is what we try and encourage anyway. Look at the low wake bug will be gone eventually. The low wake bug is
they'll deal with that.
Is indicative of whatever exploit is flavour of the day, be it a heat cannon or pack hounds that can continually fire without having to be reloaded and all that sort of thing. That's what the low wake bug is. It's look at it as symbolism of NEX.
Fuck pack hounds.
The whole ethos around like who's signing up for it and who's doing it doesn't matter. People don't have to sign up for it. People, it's not about punishment. It's like I'm using an example today, right, of what the PIP has done. So the PIP, from conversations, there's a little server. We've all had conversations, not as exquisite from EXO. It's just another guy who likes the game. We're all on the same page there. We've all agreed that we're going to be respectful with each other, etc. One of my boys at the CG has got ganked, started fucking gobbing off, getting really, really salty, then ends up combat logging. Who here not in the PIP has heard about that?
About what, sorry?
Has anyone here heard about that? About our combat logger, salty lads who went nuts and combat logged?
No.
That's the point. But what normally happens when that happens is that it ends up on Facebook, it ends up on Reddit, it ends up on YouTube, it ends up with arguments, the EXO holding loggers and that sort of thing. An adult conversation took place. We dealt with our combat logger, and he's no longer in EXO, and we've moved on. the whole,
You see,
it's about us coming together as a community a little bit, and I don't care if at the end of this I have a better relationship with Vale and IGA, and that we have that sort of agreement between us, so that whenever I'm queuing with Vale and IGA, there's no grief. There's no, there's no. I know I'm not going to be pre-mode. I know I'm not going to have exploits. I know that if someone buzz crashes, I'm going to have GGs, I'm going to have good comms, and I'm going to have a discussion rather than an inbox full of shit, rather than a temper tantrum and suddenly.
But what I envisage happening is, as soon as somebody, if you're having really good pews, and things can go south very quick, right? Someone optimizes the low wake bug. The sort of the thing that normally happens is, oh right, he used it, I can use it, and it'll all go south very, 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 very quickly. Well, he used it, so why can't I? And it's just like, oh, here we go. You know, it's.
I think the whole point
I know it's a gentleman's agreement, but people egos get in the way.
It's a gentleman's agreement between factions who have an element of respect for one another.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
Like the charter has.
You see, when I seen it on Facebook, now bear in mind it wasn't any of you that posted it on Facebook. I took it completely out of context and figured that, well, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to change PvP for everybody. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Some of the changes need to happen, but some of them just seem a bit daft. I mean, obviously, combat logging and the low wake thing. I mean, like you said before, the low wake thing will be gone.
Combat logging is the thing. That's one thing the PvP community. I mean, everybody knows if you combat log, you're tarnished for the rest of your career on ED.
Well, here's the thing as well, guys. Right? I've heard a couple of different reasons for PIP. Sorry, who am I talking over here?
Sorry, no, go on.
Right. Okay. So, 3 reasons I've had for PIP. You know, the motivation behind it. Is PvP is the only reason for these people to play. Too many loggers when they're attacking traders or whatever at CG, and not enough kills. You know, being frustrated at the fact that people are jumping out low on hull. But I know this is kind of off topic, but see the attitude the community has, or at least we have towards loggers. It's not a healthy attitude. Do you know what I mean? And I understand it's really widespread, and even just saying combat logger is fucking triggering for people, but. Like, take Irish, for example, right? We had a pilot that combat logged, and then it took a rebuy to us, and then, you know, remained part of ID. And he's been great since, man, don't get me wrong, like, not slow, but he's been taking some deaths. But, man, he's a fucking model citizen as far as what you could want from a member of a faction, do you know what I mean? So, it's not always the right answer to just say, nah, that's them, you know, just kick them. Because if they have the right attitude, you can turn that around. You know, just educate someone and say, look, that's not the right.
What was his punishment, though?
Well,
he took a rebuy, he just self-destructed in the ship that he logged out.
But there you go. But
you see, I'm all for giving people a second chance when it comes to combat logging. I do that in real life. But if somebody combat logs, they should take the loss that they should have taken, and they should take another one for punishment.
Well, I mean, we all have different ideas, and I've heard.
But I do believe you should give them a second chance. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how we present that second chance is ultimately up to us. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's worked in this industry, you know, education and stuff like that. That's good. I mean, I know there's some people who've got a harder line. Once a combat logger, always a combat logger. I know plenty of people that go down that route, but I do believe in giving someone a second chance. If they're prolific, no. I mean, you know, if they've done it, you know.
Just to give you another example, Rumble will.
There's how many people in here now? There's 7 people in here? 8?
Yeah.
Right. How many of you know?
No, I'm not sure.
What?
Sorry, what are you asking?
Sorry, what you asking?
What?
Exactly. Right.
I know.
Right. Teddy knows, probably because he was SOI back in before he was SOI.
Sorry,
back when you were ID.
I know that.
Yeah. No.
Hang on, I'm missing something here.
It was before IAD. It was before IAD I logged. But
I know.
This was.
Right. Okay.
It was at the time. It was at the time when it was just when the Corvettes came out. So that's how long ago it was. The Corvettes had just come out, and I was in a red zone with a new guy trying to train him up, earning some money, and it was the third time that day I got attacked. And bear in mind, I had no idea of the whole PvP scene at this point. I just turned the game off, loaded up Halo. Now, obviously, went on Facebook, combat log, blah 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 blah. Never lived it down since, so I know what it's like. But I've never logged since. You all know me as a somewhat honourable PvPer. I won't say completely. I'll say somewhat honourable PvPer.
Not to take it too far away from the original topic of PIP, right?
Yeah.
But the attitude towards people who log could be improved, like less toxic. Do you know what I mean?
It could, yeah.
If you want people to be in the game, if you want people to still be trading and stuff in open, you can't just be griefing them like continually without end, with no kind of like. Do you know what I mean? I've seen Megatron's finger. You have a beginners page on Facebook. You give advice to people and stuff like that.
Yep.
Harry Polo, you play probably the best criminal roleplay I've ever seen anyone engage in. You do the comms, you disable the drives, use the hatch breakers. You do all that shit, and that's what makes for a
Can you
rich
turn that TV
experience.
down?
I do kill as well, but only bounty hunters, and there's a certain rules as well.
And ones that deploy the hard points
Harry does it
aggressively.
the right way, baby.
Or launch a fighter. Yeah.
Yeah, despite my attempts to get him to shoot people.
You try very hard, don't you?
TOC
TOC have tried to recruit me.
But this is a completely different argument to the response to the PIP.
Yeah.
So the whole dealing with traders, gankers, open play is a completely different argument. That everyone has different play styles, and people agree with some play styles, people disagree with other play styles. It works with the same with alliances. We have groups who we play with and do activities with who we don't agree with their play style, but there's groups that we've used to do operations against other groups that it's all that people will get salty over, but it's all play style. It's all you like Ragnar and IED. Your role play is an Imperial Empire, and it's like that. Ours, we're an independent coalition of very different pilots with this like an Ubiach. We have a regime that we follow. And you have like Harry as a pirate and Jester as just murder killers and talk a bunch of drunken. I get all that, and that's a different debate. This debate is literally, and it was born from. It was all born from IGA and fucking First Order with Puke's merry band of morons, not the ones who went to IGA, but whoever he's fighting with now, coming down to Wolf. And scrapping there and criminal accusations and all that sort of thing, and trying to turn that into a negative gaming experience where you're just getting frustrated with the game to a positive one. And it doesn't even the rule. It's not even rules. The agreements are there of how we all want to come towards PvP. But it also with like the server that we've got running with, which is minimal people. So minimal. It's not full of people from factions talking and screeching. You've got individuals there from each group who can, when there is a problem, you all know each other because you've been hanging out in there together. It's not just a name on Xbox or a couple of lines on text on comms, and you can actually have a discussion about it and sort it out. And I'm not being funny. Jest is a thorn in my side, in the Exo side, for fucking years. He sits outside stations in Exospace murdering everyone. He's a slippery fucker who just literally kites off when you try and gank him. He's a pain in the ass. My PvEers fucking despise him. They despise him. It's like Jest is here, of course they do, because he's a terrorist. We went to war with NF. And gave the BGSs a run, and they were out in open, and they were dying right, left, and centre. And that emergent gameplay came from literally Jester being a terrorist and nuking one of our guys. But the comms that start then outside of the game to try and keep it friendly, like me at the time with Fisto, to be like, we're doing this, we're doing this fun, we're going to keep things in open, and even to the point of like, we're doing this, we're doing that, to keep it engaged, meant that whole engagement, without the PIP even being in place, followed the rules of the PIP. There was no bullshit. There was any incidents. They didn't end up splashed all over Facebook and salt everywhere.
It was just like you guys set up a game of dodgeball. You guys are all in the same class. You guys are just different sides of the gym. You guys are throwing balls at each other for fucking half an hour. After that, you guys will give each other high fives and fucking move on.
Exactly. And what it means is that if Ninja puts a fleet together and rocks up in Wolf Space and starts shooting at us, and we've all got crimes on, then he knows that we'll be quite open that we're going to run crimes in Wolf Space. But it also gives him an avenue for him to make contact and say, exquisite, you know, there's 4 of us, there's 4 of you, fancy just having it out without crimes, just win 4v4, or, you know, and rather than it be a system takeover, let's make it some pews. And it just opens up a whole different dynamic to it. People don't have to get involved in it, that's cool. It's not about forcing it on anyone, it's not about forcing groups into it, but I'm telling you now, if I go up
If you want to be part of the agreement, you're more than welcome to.
If I go up against a group and they start premoing me or low waking on me, I'm going to premo them back. I'm not one for exploits, you know. I had heat cannons in the day, and I took them out once against PK because I was sick to death of being hit with heat cannons. And
premium ammo is a bit different, though. Premium ammo is a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's not an exploit.
No, it's not an exploit.
I don't use premium.
I use the second one, to be honest. Just because
I'm keeping my fucking mats, man. I'm not
I'm using the second one just because it replenishes the whole thing instead of just half of it.
Yeah. Let me make it clear. I have no issue with premium ammo. I don't.
I didn't even know that.
If someone shoots at me and they're using premium, fine, use premium. You know, but 9 times out of 10, if you've got to use premium,
getting experience is different.
If you've got to use premium as a crutch, I'm going to beat you. So it's not an issue.
Well, I tell you, love that I have used premium because when I know I'm being ganked.
Yeah, and I've used premium. As a rule, I don't. I really rarely. I loaded.
It's very expensive.
Yeah, and I loaded my
exactly. Fuck, the reason why I
guess you should say
like,
get rich.
Motherfucker, I barely do engineering enough. If I want to go into engineering, I'm gonna struggle to fucking find the drive to go and get the materials in the first place. Like, fuck, I'm not gonna waste my materials on you. Like, fuck that shit.
The point is, if I'm fighting Vale, or I'm fighting people who are involved in the PIP, or Ninja and them all come up to the system, I would rather not it be a fucking primo fest with overcharged cannons all premoed up and I get focused and literally lose thousands and thousands because I want to enjoy it. And back at them, they don't want it. They don't want to drop into a system and then have 6 ships drop on them and all primo rounds and it lasts 4 or 5 seconds.
Using cannons.
We want to enjoy it. You know?
That's the other thing with PvP.
So how's it going to all be placed?
I suppose needs to stop. As you see, when you get into a big wing PvP, you're talking, 10 to 16 ships, and you'll have 7 or 8 ships all shooting at one ship.
Yeah, that's focus.
Yeah, I know it's
awesome,
and we've all done it. We're all guilty of it. But
there's nothing wrong with that.
Fucking sweet.
I think
that's the standard operating procedure.
Let's get in there.
I know it is.
There is
Everybody on this guy. Let's
screaming
go.
out that moment. I've got focus and I'm getting everybody's chasing you. That's some of the best parts of PvP because you're not on the offensive, you're on the defensive then.
What I'm saying is
nothing better than surviving a big gank.
There's moments when you've got all titans.
I've
5
been
pence,
there.
50 pence, 5 pence, 50 pence.
I've been there. I've been in my
about
shieldless fast with 12 Vale members all shooting the shit out of me.
Yeah, but it's not about that act. So this is important. It's not about that act. It's about what happens afterwards. So Ninja, when he was Killer Elite, and I'm not sure if you remember this, mate, I had a half-engineered gunship and I took it into the CG stupidly, and literally I think I had like 6 Killer Elite vets pull me and just nuke me.
Sounds about right.
I got out on 2% hull. Right.
Yeah, I was a little bit pissed off at that.
But the comms afterwards were, you lucky fucker.
Get good.
You know, there's people out there who literally fill a comms with, you fucking man, I'm going to not swear because we all know that we just get each other comms banned. You know, just assault.
I never get anyone comms banned. I don't know what you're talking about. Not me. Not the Ninja Teddy. Never.
Yeah.
You know,
Never. I'm an innocent child right here.
I'm going to wrap up soon because I've got to shoot it a bit. I got a phone call I got to make for work. But for me and Expo, a lot of it we try and aspire to follow anyway. We've always been straight with our crimes and how we do that. We've always been straight with our BGS, and Jester and a few of the other Newton's Fusiliers will attest to that. And I will attest to that. I've lost my BGS ships a number of times when we do the Newton Fusiliers thing and the PK thing. It's about it's not about changing PvP, forcing change on PvP. It's about getting agreements throughout the community with the different groups, realising that just because your playstyle is different, doesn't mean that you're a dickhead. If you're a dickhead in game, if your commander is an arsehole terrorist, doesn't mean that the person behind that person
you're a terrible person in real life.
See, that's a good point. Right?
Yes,
because a lot of the
that's
people
why
who fight, yeah, a lot of the people
I
who fight,
signed
take
up.
Godless Agent, for example, you know what I mean? He's a really fucking cool guy. You know what I mean? You can shoot him, and he'll be fine about it, you know, there's no fucking trash talk. But you shoot other people, like maybe certain members of IGA, and you get messages complaining about things. You know, there's 3 main reasons IED won't sign up for this agreement, right? And it's the lack of respect. I mean, it works between factions like maybe EXO, ROTV, Veil, you know, people who kind of get on anyway, but with our kind of conflicting attitudes towards the game and like the conflicting role plays, it's just, I mean, if you look at Uncut, it's just trash talk about IED all the time, more or less.
But Ragnar, the other thing is as well.
Don't take that personally, though. It's just a trash.
I'm not taking it personally, but
page.
I'm just saying this is what IED sees from groups like IGA and Veil is just trash talk. Do you know what I mean? It's just disrespect.
You'll never
it's
get IED
toxicity
trash talk
that drives
from me.
people away. Say that
You'll
again.
you'll never get IED trash talk from me.
The thing is, though,
This is an opportunity though, to draw a line in that sand and say, let's move on from that. When I joined EXO, it was us. The shit that we had, you know, I'd only had to fucking put a post on the update about your EXO fuck off. You know, you build the relationships up with.
Can you literally just post something on Facebook just so I can literally just put that right now?
No. No. You build the
But you're
relationships
actually, fuck off.
This is the thing though, right? Like, the collective mindset in IT just now is fuck them. Do you know what I mean? Until you guys can demonstrate that you're worthy of a gentleman's agreement, then it's not going to happen. And the flip side of that as well, being like the kind of role play good guys is.
But
Imagine IED, they're like a police force, yeah? They should have their crimes on, isn't it? Like,
That's true.
yes.
This is the thing, right? I don't mind flying without crimes on, especially in PvP.
I pretty much fly with crimes off, being a criminal all the time. There are some exceptions to that when I'm engineering or something, but generally I'm a criminal. I turn my crimes off. That seems the right thing to do, given the role I play. I expect you guys to have your crimes on. Yeah.
There was only one system in this game.
PvP though. It breaks big win PvP.
Yeah.
Crimes break.
It's better. It's a cleaner fight.
People
It's
break
much better
big
fight
win
without crimes.
So the pack-hounds break big win PvP.
Okay, I see your point as well, but
But the thing is,
depends,
though,
I mean-
right, I fucking hate getting wanted. Like, see if I'm shooting a criminal and he has his crimes on, I fucking hate that shit. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, just have them off, man. Just fucking keep it off. Do you know what I mean? So I think we've chased fucking IGA from the community.
see
college
Megatron's
and all that
rearing his
stuff.
head there. Man.
Yeah, man.
I think I
Taking
can
notes.
saying if I'm clean, don't shoot me.
Alright.
That's using the game mechanic.
It wasn't a problem before the new update when they put the new crimes and punishment update. You could be wanted. It didn't matter. But now you get wanted. You can't dock for fucking 600 light years.
Yeah, and the
size 2 fuel
fucking game playtime afterwards. Oh, you
Yeah,
shot
but I
this
mean,
one
this is only-
sidewinder? Yeah, get banished to fucking
There's
Colonia,
only
bitch.
only one system I'll ever have my crimes on in, and that is Shindes. Because if I fly into Shindes without my crimes up, I will be fucking murdered before I get near the gate.
That's the thing, though, right? So, TOC as a whole, right? We're pretty much on the fence about it. There was, you know, we don't log. We got like one person that uses premium that we know of, and that's Dark Polo, because he attacks vets in a courier.
And we're fucking sick of RTV low waking on us.
You know, and things, you know, something like that, and then our
Since when?
reason for going for it, our reason for going for it was to basically force people into open to do BGS so that we can kill them all. That was our main reason for going for it, and I don't really see that as a bad thing. By getting more people in the game and in open, then
aggressive BGS should
more
already
people for us to kill.
I told
If you're
everyone
BGS
to high
in
wake
another
until
group, you
Alley
should be
Cat
open.
hit the low wake at 1.5 clicks on top of one of my guy's vets.
Ali Cat
I'm-
isn't in
no,
any of
I'm
the
just
chat, so he
saying,
doesn't
right?
know.
This isn't the forum to be sort of saying he's done this, you know.
No.
No, I mean,
No, but I think a good point you
what
can take from
assurances?
this, though, is that, see if you're fighting experienced commandos, people know what they're doing, there's no problem, but see if you're coming
Yeah.
into people's home systems and attacking like BGS ships and stuff, you can't expect them to play to the same standard. I think, what was it, Matt Gregory said something on Facebook like, oh, ID, half of them don't even know how to high wake, and he's not kidding. Do you know what I mean? Like, most people don't have decent combat training, so they're gonna fucking do whatever's easiest, aren't they? If they don't have that experience.
I don't know if you guys
It's a
did
bad-
in my
it's a
system
bad-
blew up
it's a
my
bad-
traders,
it's a bad
they just
habit to
bought
get
combat
into
ships
anyway.
and started fighting
Low
back.
wake.
Well,
because they're going to fix
it's not
it,
that, I
and you'll
mean,
end up
I've
coming
got-
undone.
I've got a real bad habit for low waking purely because I'm used to fighting all you fuckers in FDLs when I'm in my FAS, and the FAS outmass locks the FDL. So it's just kind of fuck
Yes,
you,
where
I'm
do you
gone.
draw the line?
People
I
make
never used to
people make
fucking high wake
mistakes
until
like
Vale
people
got me. Literally.
people make mistakes. You know,
Took me 2
people
years
make mistakes.
to learn.
That's going to happen. You know, when people join EXO, we literally, and it sounds convoluted, it's bureaucratic as hell, we have an orientation process, we go through high waking, we go through combat logging, we go through our BGS policy about it being in open. If you're doing any BGS, I'm happy to say it, you know, any BGS that affects any other player system is done in open. If you're caught doing sly BGS on someone, then we will deal with it internally, and we demote, and we have point systems.
You should be able to
boards and
defend
things.
against it, yeah.
Yeah, you do it.
I mean, it should never
we
been able to be done on solo or private. I don't know.
Don't get me wrong.
what the fuck they're thinking.
We fortify systems in private, or you know, if we're doing people doing power play, our logistics and BGS guys, it's not affecting anyone else. It's just bumping around doing our own BGS and stuff. Doesn't bother me. I'm not going to force those.
Everybody's gonna make money.
Say you should be an open. Yeah, exactly. But if another group, if we went to war with ID, they would all be in open, and if I caught anyone in private, there would be consequences within our faction. And we go through that at the very beginning. People fuck up, they do, and it's how the people respond to that fuck up is whether they stay in EXO. I've sent people to get rebuys. Jester's had one, Megatron and Tok had one the other day, and it's done. It's not heard of. It's not heard of, and that's the end of it. I speak with the boys. I try and help them out afterwards. We do training with them. They jump out with some of the PvPers. They know how to high wake and get. You know, so it's not just a video. They get some more. It's just a standard we follow. It was uncut, so it didn't bother me too much when I saw the response to it being posted there, and I was like, well, there was a bit of hypocrisy there. At the end of the day, for me, it's opened up lines of communication with groups where there was salt. If we take away from it and moving forward, it improves relationships between us and some bad guys and brings some good pews, then we've won. If it doesn't and it falls apart, we haven't lost anything. But at least we could say we've drawn a line in the sand, we've moved forward, and we're trying to improve PvP for us end game players who are always going to be playing with each other. No one gives a shit, let's be fair, no one here gives a shit about the PvEs or the BGSs.
No,
this is about
the
end game
thing
content.
The thing that kind of blew me up about it, I mean, I'm not saying there's an excuse for everybody shitslings on Facebook, but it's just the nature of it, I suppose. But the thing that flew me up about it is I can trust EXO to be gentlemanly, but from personal and past experiences with Vale, I couldn't. I'm not saying
That's the fresh start
in
on there.
particular. Well,
You
that's
can
it.
see a fresh start, but
I
people
don't know
change
this new
overnight.
Vale.
Do we have a rep? Do we have a rep of Vile in this group right now?
Jester so
Jester.
far, yeah.
Oh, Jester. Okay.
He'll
Now, when my past experience don't include Jester because Jester wasn't Vale back when I knew Vale, like, you know.
Is it the
Jester's
real
out of it.
Vale, or is it the Vale that has the cocaine
I
in it?
don't know. I don't
nobody really knows.
Sorry, Jester. I thought you were NFS or dirty or something like that.
No.
He's a
That
terrorist.
happened when Fisto
He's a
set up
terrorist,
St.
yeah.
Lawrence Legion.
Right, guys, I need to shoot. I've got a phone call that I need to make for work. I hope that I've given some contribution. If anything else, ping me a message. Happy to discuss, but
Side down.
I think it's moving forward. Much love to you all. And the
It's my
biggest thing I
time to
want to
load.
take,
No, wait,
the biggest thing I want to take from this whole sort of agreement and moving forward is better in the relationship across the community, whether you're a bad guy or a good guy. We can pew, have big pews and enjoy it. That's
And possibly downgrading the slits. I know I'm guilty of it. I mean, I'm always guilty of everything, but possibly downgrading the shit slinging to banter.
I don't ever want to get rid of. I don't ever want to get rid of. Okay, last thing. I don't ever want to get rid of trash talk, banter.
No. But there's a level, isn't there? And
what I don't want to see
the trash talk is
shit that comes from some people.
Such a noob.
I've crossed the line more than a few times, and I really shouldn't.
You know, the Uncut Facebook page is a shit storm. It's there to.
It is. It was
originally taken
set up
seriously.
That page.
For the people watching, if you want to link to the Uncut page,
and
the most toxic place on Facebook, I'll leave it in the description down below.
Look, man.
No, but honestly, right?
Consensual.
Honestly,
Facebook account serving
how
porn
is
is
the
banned.
How is the PIP going to be? People will deviate. There's no. It will happen. It's going to happen in one way, shape, or form. What's going to happen? Well, when someone deviates, what's the for it to be credible? What's the consequence for the person that deviates? And what about repeat offenders and things like that?
Facebook shame.
Could have it.
So
That's a lead
basically,
it
in
takes
reference
to
to
invite.
that, I've basically worked with my guys on a matter of trust. I can trust my guys quite a lot. However, if something like that does come to light and it has been proven, they will get a warning from me right from the get-go. And if they continue to do shit like that, then there will be disciplinary action taking place. Now, because I haven't had much time actually recently on Xbox to think about this kind of shit.
You're the leader of IGA.
IGA.
Teddy.
Yeah,
you are. Yeah.
Now, because of course I haven't had much time on Xbox to talk about this and think about this kind of crap, I haven't really put much time into the sort of disciplinary action that I could be taking with my guys. But nevertheless, I will find suitable punishments, and I've said to them that if they are going to be doing that kind of shit, don't get too comfortable.
If it works between you guys, that's great, and I wish you all the best with it. But until attitudes change, until there's less immaturity, I'm looking at you, Teddy, man. You are like the number one asshole, and you take pride in being a bit of a dick. So until that kind of shit stops, then
I'm not gonna.
There's gonna be no gentleman's.
I want to weigh in there, right? That's probably not likely to change. He's been a bit of a dick since I've known him. Like,
which kind of makes it.
It might change.
Well, there goes.
It might change once he touches his boobs.
Thanks, Mark. Fuck.
No,
There goes that. I don't fucking
you're a sound
swanny.
lad, but you're a bit of a cunt. It's just one thing,
I don't know, man. I haven't had any shit talk. Nobody's talked shit to me. I've had a pretty good relationship with everybody. Sometimes I don't even know how the hell y'all go at it like that. Half the time, anyway.
What it is,
I sit back and I watch. Like
9 times out of 10, I'm sitting on the toilet having a shit, and I've got nothing to do.
Exactly. You understand. You fucking understand me.
Okay. Well, I usually play Fallout Shelter when I take a shit, but that's just me.
The Uncut page when I take a shit.
I don't know, man, but to express my opinion on this whole PIP matter, I think it's a great thing because, one, I got a lot of my guys following me out in open play and getting blown up by people like, Harry and Jester and all that, and and I'm there to tell them, everything's cool, let's get you some engineering and all that kind of good shit, and they come back out and they want to start fighting. which is awesome. And then you know, I'm always encouraging everybody to communicate with each other. You know, whether good guy or bad guy, you know, hop in their parties, have a good chat with them, laugh about it, blow
Who are
each
you
other
with,
up. Who gives a
Bunch?
fucking shit? I'm Riders of the Void. I'm leader of the Riders.
Ah,
of the Void.
right, okay, I thought you were. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm all for the PIP because
I thought Cam
mainly
was
because
leader.
of the shit sling.
My bad.
Who? Cam? No,
Cam,
he's my other. He's just as good as me. He might as well just be a leader too. I mean, but I get I don't. My whole organization is organic, so I don't really make any decisions. We all come together as a collective, and we have a good time. But my entire basis for signing this thing is so that we can stop talking shit and get along with each other, because it makes me sick. Like, there's no reason to be mad at each other all the time. And
No.
you know, it makes me not want to get involved in these CGs, because like you guys are going at it for something stupid and I have no one to shoot at. You know, like, because I like everybody. Like, it's just a
Go
weird
to
thing
Destiny.
for
You'll
me.
have plenty
So.
to shoot at.
Yeah, right. Well, we're working on it. We're working in there now too. So, but yeah, man,
I know.
I'm all for it, and I hope.
Ever.
Yeah, man, I hope everybody can. I want this community to get live again. I want people to come out of private groups, solo play. I want people to not want to kill people in 2 seconds with premium ammo and waste their fucking mats. You know, like, that type of shit is cool by me, and that levels the playing field for both sides. It's not just because one person recommended it and they have a certain style of gameplay. It puts everybody on the same table. And if you want to come in and you want to join in, by all means, it's going to make everybody a better pilot, and it's going to make a community a better place to be. Bones out.